Welcome back F11 members to the Fundamentals of Post-Production Video Tutorials Part 2. We got so far in Lightroom with working on this image, this very low contrast image from Umbria. That's how far I've got with it so far. But just before I open it in Photoshop to continue working on it, I just want to take care of one issue that I've just noticed. Top right corner, you can see a bit of vignetting just creeping in there, quite unsightly, and I used to get this with my old 70 to 200mm lens that I was using there. So if I come down here to lens corrections and click on enable profile corrections, it removes that perfectly. So that's that dealt with. Don't often use profile corrections, but in this case quite useful. So I'm now going to go edit photo and edit in Photoshop, and it's going to open up, and there we are. So let's pause and consider what I want to do. I want to continue to selectively tweak the levels and contrasts in various areas of the picture, and whilst Lightroom is so useful for doing using adjustments to the whole image, I find the adjustment brush and the gradient tool useful, but only up to a point, and we can do these sort of things with far more subtlety in Lightroom, in Photoshop. So if I just bring in over my tools palette here and I'm going to select the quick selection tool, and I'm just going to select an area of the image like this, which is the darkest bit at the bottom, which I've already done using adjustments in Lightroom. But now if I go select inverse, and I'm going to feather that selection across a relatively narrow area. I just bring in here and go feather over 100 pixels, and now go image adjustments curves, and I'm just going to work on the sort of central area of the picture here now. First of all, let's just adjust my black points for that part of the image. I can come in a touch before I start to see clipping happening down here, and the same with white points. Not going to be able to do much, but every little bit helps to optimize contrast. Unclip the show clipping button, and now if I click on and off the preview button, you can see how just these tiny adjustments make a difference. Now I'm just going to drag down this slider here until I get the kind of density I want in the middle part of the image there, and I'd say that's probably about right, although the village itself is starting to look a bit dingy. So I'm going to take care of that next. So if I click on OK, and now just using select, deselect, go to the Lasso tool and just select an area around the image. Have to be careful I don't go too far with all this. I'm going to feather that selection with a radius of 80 pixels and go image adjustments curves, and just show clipping and just tweak the contrast of that particular area of the image. It's a bit dark still, so let's brighten it up. Put a bit of an S in there, and that's really lifted the village. Okay, that's good. Next thing I need to do is address the sky, and I'm going to use the quick selection tool. Oh, wrong tool. Go back on my history palette. There. That's the tool I'm after. Let's select the sky. And I'm going to do a fairly narrow feather on this because it's such a definable edge there. Now if I go image adjustments curves again, and I just want to darken the sky down a touch, have to be careful, because if I go too far we'll end up with that. Can you see that definite line along the edge of the mountain there? So I'm just going to be super subtle here to about there. That's good. Click on OK, select, deselect, and now using the Lasso tool I'm going to go for another selection on the sky, but this higher into it, if you know what I mean, and then a really broad feather on this one. Image adjustments, curves again and again, just pull back that sky a touch there and put a touch of contrast in. Much better. Select, deselect. The picture is really pretty much there visually, although there's still a few details that need addressing. In particular, I'm going to deprive Preci and the whole Valna arena of its electricity supply now. So if I zoom in, Control plus Alt, and move it to the area I want to work on, I'm going to take out these electricity pylons here, and I'm going to use the content aware healing brush, which I find so much more useful than the spot removal tool in Lightroom. I'm also using it in tandem with a Wacom tablet, which enables me to be pressure sensitive with the size of my brush, which is quite handy. Now I'm not going to make you sit through all of these, so I'm just going to quickly take these out and come back to you when I've done them. Okay, so that's the electricity for the region being cut off. Just going to deal now with this area here, these fairly horrible obstructions. I'm not into taking out villages, villas and the like, but these are particularly ugly, and so still using content aware healing. It's like magic, isn't it, really? I think we have to be careful about what we take out, but that was just a pretty gruesome distraction. And there is the finished image. Just a few little bits to take out, a few annoying little things. But if we look now at where we started and where we've finished up, it's quite illuminating. So there we have them, side by side. And I think what this shows is, first of all, the benefits of knowing the characteristics of your camera sensor, what it's capable of, its exposure latitude, its dynamic range, and the benefits of exposing to the right enable me to bring out all of this precious color information here in areas that look completely burnt out originally. At the end of the day, subtlety is key, but that's been quite an interesting and illuminating exercise. Using adjustment brushes, using selective tweaking of the various areas of the image to enhance contrast. And there you go, that's it for this month. We'll look forward to doing it all again next month. See you there, F11 members, in the fundamentals of post-production video tutorials. Thank you.